there and welcome to this video on GCSE Biology under the AQA Specification, focusing on the topic of the development of understanding of genetics and evolution. And in particular, we'll be having a look at the theory of evolution. I'm Shumina from StudyMind, where we help you revise GCSE Biology with our helpful video tutorials, tailored to your subject, your specification, and to you. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button. Whilst you are watching, please leave any comments below if you're unsure about anything, and let us know if it's your first time watching our videos so we can send you our free revision materials. We also have helpful timestamps below for each part of the video to help guide you through the specification. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to this tutorial on theory of evolution. So in today's tutorial we're going to discuss Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. We're then going to compare it to Lamarck's theory of evolution. So first of all, let's have a look at some theories of evolution that were kind of created around the 18th century, but before this period of time the general understanding was that creationism led to all of the organisms around us. So at a broad level, a creationist is someone who believes in a God who is absolute creator of heaven and earth out of nothing by an act of free will. Okay, so those were our initial theories of how we have formed the organisms around us. But in the 1700s, further theories began to form. So the current theory that we follow is that of Charles Darwin. So Darwin journeyed to the Galapagos Islands and spent long periods of time observing life on these islands, and he used the information that he had spent his life collecting in order to compact his observations, and he then proposed the theory of natural selection. So individual organisms in a certain species show more variation for a certain characteristic. Some organisms in a species may have more variation than others for a certain characteristic. For example, some giraffes may have longer necks than others. Now, this is the basis of natural selection, because individuals with characteristics more suited to the environment are more likely to survive to breed successfully. They will survive for longer, such as if a lion is stronger, it will survive for longer and so will be able to breed more, and will therefore pass these stronger characteristics down to their offspring. Or going back to the giraffes with longer necks may be able to reach for leaves higher up on a tree than giraffes with shorter neck, and therefore they perhaps run out of food, or it takes a longer time for them to run out of a source of food, whereas shorter neck giraffes may only have a limited supply of food. So giraffes with characteristics such as long necks that are more suited to the environment, so for example when there is a shortage of leaves on a tree, they might be more likely to survive to breed successfully, and the characteristics that have enabled these individuals to survive are then passed on to the next generation. So because the parents have a genetic advantage, they will pass this on to their offspring. This will allow them also to survive for longer to reproduce. So this is why we refer to it as survival of the fittest, because those that are the fittest, i.e. the fittest are the ones that have the advantageous characteristics, are more likely to survive for longer to reproduce. So all of these changes take a very long period of time and are only seen after many, many generations, so this isn't a fast process. So there was a lot of controversy about Darwin's work. So he upset many creationists who believed that the theory challenged their notion that God created all of the plants and animals that are found on Earth. But there were also other factors that initially caused Darwin's problems. So first of all, an understanding of genes was still in its infancy, so they didn't quite understand what he was saying. And it also meant that he was unable to provide concrete scientific backing to why this variety existed in organisms. So this still took another 50 years to develop after the theory was published. And the lack of evidence was Darwin's greatest problem, because it meant that Darwin could never truly give full clarification for his findings. So Darwin never truly gained the recognition he deserved for his theory in his lifetime, but it's the current theory that we accept. So other theories also exist, such as that of Lamarck's. So Lamarck's theory of evolution was known as the inheritance of acquired characteristics. So this stated that if parents have changes in their lifetime, this would be passed on to the offspring. So for example, if a giraffe was trying to reach for leaves higher up on a tree, it would stretch its neck and perhaps its neck would get slightly longer, and this characteristic would be passed on to its offspring. Now the reason why we have rejected that is that we know that it's genetics that are passed down to offspring, and by stretching your neck a little bit further to reach leaves higher up on a tree, that doesn't change your genetics. Another example of this is at the gym. So if two parents spent a lot of time building their muscular strength, the child would then have this trait of being muscularly strong. So this is the theory of evolution that we don't currently accept. So now let's come on to some practice questions. So as usual, I'll read through the statements. You can then pause the video, have a go, and we'll go through the answers. So A, Darwin's theory states that acquired characteristics are inherited. B, Darwin studied animal life on the Falkland Islands. C, you can see changes through natural selection after one generation. And D, one of the factors affecting the reception to on the origin of species was the lack of genetic evidence. So pause the video here and we'll go through the answers in a few moments. Okay, let's go through some answers. So statement A, Darwin's theory states that acquired characteristics are inherited. No, that's Lamarck's theory, so that's false. B is also false because it was the Galapagos Islands. C is false, so you can see changes through natural selection after many, many generations. And D, one of the factors affecting the reception to on the origin of species was the lack of genetic evidence. That is true. So that's all for today. Make sure you understand Darwin's theory of natural selection. Make sure you also know what Lamarck's theory of evolution was. And that is it. So I'll see you for the next session. Thanks for watching this free video from StudyMind. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to catch our newest videos by clicking below, and leave a comment on a topic you'd like a video on. Click here to watch more videos in our series for GCSE Biology, or visit our website studymind.co.uk for free past paper compilations by topic and specification.